Hey everybody, I'm Norris with the Norris Group. It is Friday, September 29th, and did you hear about the new tax proposal? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. This weekend we start airing on our radio show and podcast, I Survive Real Estate 2017. With your help, we've raised close to $85,000, bringing our grand total over the last 10 years to $785,000. I can't thank you enough and all of our great sponsors. We take a break over the next 6 or 7 weeks or so as we air the entirety of the event on the radio show, and we'll hopefully release the video this weekend. Lots of really great information, but this week specifically on the radio show, you're going to hear about what all the money is raised for Make-A-Wish and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Black Knight Financial Services Home Price Index shows prices increased 0.3% in July and it now stands at 6.2% for the year. HUD and the Census Bureau reported a 3.4% decrease in home sales in August. Mortgage debt for commercial and multifamily increased to $3.06 trillion. The National Association of Realtors reported a 2.6% decrease in pending home sales, and mortgage rates are holding steady. 30-year rates are at 3.83%, and 15-year rates are at 3.13%. Homebuyer and seller sentiment increased despite existing home sales dipping. In fact, 62% of renters think now is a good time to buy a home and thinks rents will only go up over the next year. Folks with higher incomes and who live in the South and Midwest are a little bit more amenable and more positive on the future because affordability is just a little bit better over there. In addition, 80% think now is a good time to sell, up from 75% last quarter and 67% last year. That's a pretty great increase. Lawrence Yun, the economist for the National Association of Realtors, is not sure if this will equate to increased sales because inventory is tight. We'll have to wait and see. So what's the best way to make your riches in real estate? Is it rentals, flips, REITs, crowdfunding, good old home appreciation? Well, Realtor.com did a study of the 5 real estate investments regular folks are considering when they're getting into real estate, and you'll have to see some of their gross numbers because flipping in general made me laugh because I think it was the gross rate of return was 45%. It just seemed a little bit far out there. I don't know where they're flipping. Anyway, the thing to consider is, of course, you need to get off the couch, stop watching HGTV and actually do something. Find a strategy, pick a location, and actually get to work. I had an 85-year-old last year call me who had spent 5 figures on a coaching program who wanted to talk to me about getting a hard money loan to finance raw land. No, don't do that. Make sure it's appropriate, and please protect each other out there. If you have seniors that are talking about doing things that are not appropriate, please stop them. Just please do. Ownership levels are declining right now because people either don't want to own or they just can't afford it. But is shared equity part of the issue and a potential ownership solution for the next generation? Well, in the first quarter, the percentage of single-family homes being purchased with a co-buyer is around 16%, up from 14% just back in 2015. Co-borrowers are also on the increase with 22% makeup this last year, from 20% just last year. Sean O'Toole with Property Radar brought something up in I Survive Real Estate. If we release the video this weekend, you'll have to watch it because it's later in the show. He dropped the bomb that the mortgage industry is just not serving us anymore, and maybe we just need to completely shake things up. So the whole ownership and the financing of ownership, is it time for disruption? Definitely check out I Survive Real Estate. Some really good stuff got brought up. Redfin compared monthly mortgage rates to 195 public colleges with a median monthly mortgage of a condo, and no surprise, some college campuses are just ridiculously expensive, costing upwards of $21,000 per year. I relate to this because when I moved to New York City in '99, I was paying $2,400 with 3 other guys total for a building that was built in the early 1900s, hadn't been renovated for over 50 years. It was a 2-bedroom, not a 2-bedroom, a 2-room hotel. So I completely relate to this, but will it equate to more students getting involved in owning something? I don't know, because a lot of them come in and out during the school season. So it'll be interesting to see if that changes based on some of the other stories we're covering today. Lennar's Eagle Home Mortgage Group launched a new loan program targeting millennials strapped with student loans. The answer, roll in student debt into a home purchase. Well, sort of. A recent study from NAR and the American Student Assistance shows student debt is one of the top reasons holding millennials back from buying a home, and it has been for the last 7 years. Only 20% of those surveys owned a home, and the majority carries a debt of around $41,000, and they're only making about $38,000 in income. So Eagle Home Mortgage will offer borrowers up to $13,000, around 3%, to go towards paying off some of that debt, which typically carries a higher interest rate, so that's great. And yes, you have to buy a Lennar home, and yes, you'll still have to meet income requirements. Pretty interesting. We've been talking about real estate being low-hanging fruit for the feds to plug some budget gaps, and this week we've started to find out details about what they're calling the Big Six tax proposal. It gets rid of certain provisions, including state and local tax deductions, and doubles the standard deduction while deleting personal and dependency exemptions. So the National Association of Realtors came out this week saying they believe this would nullify the incentive to buy a home, basically equating to a de facto increase on home ownership. In the mind of some consumers, I completely see what they're talking about, because regardless of whether or not they actually do the mortgage interest tax deduction, it still holds that space in the mind of the consumer. So I would love to see what you think. Do you think this is going to be a huge issue for real estate? What are your thoughts so far on the tax proposal as is? If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a beat. If you're on Facebook, please don't forget to not only like the Norris Group page, but don't forget to add us to your See First list and with notifications on. Leave your comments below the video, and if we miss something, share the story on our comment sections on either YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure to include it on our blog at thenorrisgroup.com/blog. October 7th, we'll be back on the road doing 10 life-changing days of a real estate investor in San Francisco at the SF Bay Summit. It's the last time we're going to be in NorCal for the year, so if you haven't seen us up there in Sacramento or San Jose, we hope to see you next week. October 13th, I'll be at the California Escrow Association doing technology trends in real estate. Look forward to doing that. October 13th, California Market Update with Chino Valley Real Estate Professionals, and October 18th, we'll be doing 10 life-changing days of a real estate investor at Robert Hall & Associates. For more information on hard money lending, including fix and flip, buy and hold, and new construction with rates starting at just 6.9%, check out thenorrisgroup.com. And yes, we are going to start lending in Florida, probably late next month. For more information on passive investing with trust deeds, check out tngtrustdeeds.com. With that, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.